Welcome, my name is Marcus Braun and I'm the consultant pastry chef for Barker's. Today we're going to be using the Barker's patisserie filling to produce a beautiful blackcurrant mousse. For the first stage of the recipe, what I've done with the puree is I've actually put that into a blender to make it nice and smooth to get rid of the lumps for the mousse. I've heated the puree up onto the stove, and into that I'm going to add my hydrated gelatine to dissolve that fully into that puree. It's really important to dissolve the gelatin fully so it's going to disperse evenly through the mixture. Blackcurrant is a really highly underrated flavour in my opinion. It's got a beautiful colour and a lovely, lovely taste. And it's really good for you as well, even in a mousse. Once you've dissolved the gelatin into the hot puree, I'm just going to pour that into my glass bowl for it to cool down. The next stage of the recipe, we're going to produce an Italian meringue. That's where we're going to add the hot sugar syrup into the egg whites and whisk that till it's in full volume. Now it's really important when you're adding the hot sugar syrup to the meringue is that you add the sugar syrup gradually into the egg whites. If you add the sugar syrup too fast, you run the risk of the meringue collapsing. If it collapses, you're going to lose a lot of that aeration, a lot of the volume in the mixture. Once you've achieved the right volume, we're going to be adding the prepared puree and the gelatine mixture into our beautiful Italian meringue. So all of this is going to go in. And with a rubber spatula, we're going to fold those ingredients together. What we're going to end up with is a beautiful colour and a light textured blackcurrant puree mixture. So I'm folding and breaking that meringue into the puree until it's nicely emulsified, combined. And then once we have combined the Italian meringue and the puree together, we need to let this cool down slightly before we fold in our whipped cream. If we don't let it cool down before we fold in our whipped cream, we run the risk of the mousse splitting and separating. So there we are, we have a beautiful light textured puree mixture done with that Italian meringue. Okay, our puree and our Italian meringue mixture has cooled down sufficiently for us to add to the cream now. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the Italian meringue and puree into the cream to start to let down that cream into that base. Just folding gently to retain as much air as possible within the cream and also the Italian meringue. I can really smell that intense blackcurrant flavour coming through as I'm folding those together. The second part of the meringue can go in now, and we're blending those two ingredients together by folding with a rubber spatula. We've got a beautiful colour and obviously a beautiful flavour. Now once those two ingredients have combined, I'm going to load this into my piping bag now so I can deposit that easily into my silicone moulds. And piping it into the moulds, nice even portion amount. Now you can use any silicone mould that you want. Once I have piped all the mousse into the moulds here, I'm going to spread them out nice and evenly, and then I'm going to place a nice disc of pistachio sponge on the top of each mould before I set them into the refrigerator. Just give it a gentle press so the mousse and the sponge are adhering to each other. And we're going to place this either in the refrigerator to set for at least 3 to 4 hours, or what I'm going to do is place this in the freezer until it's completely solid, and then they're going to be easy to pop out of the moulds later on. Okay, I've just taken the mousses out of the freezer and placed them onto my serving tray. I'm just going to place a little bit more of the Barker's blackcurrant patisserie filling into the centre of each of these mousses, just to finish them off. And once I've piped all the patisserie filling into the centre, I'm going to place my little chocolate garnish, which I've prepared on the top of each one. So I've just centred the chocolate garnish on the top of each mousse, and now I'm going to place another disc of white chocolate on the centre, which has been dusted lightly with some pistachio powder, just to match with what we've got in the bottom with the pistachio sponge. We've got really nice colours here. We've got the vibrant blackcurrant, which you can see in the mousse, and also the filling at the top. And then we've got our white chocolate, which really stands out against that background of the blackcurrant. And there we have it, a beautiful blackcurrant mousse with pistachio sponge.